think it means that as believers, God never intended it to be for there to be a hierarchy among believers. We've never, we're not supposed to compare ourselves to each other, but rather we're supposed to reflect Him and to serve Him and to make ourselves less so He becomes more. And I believe that He's given us each individual and special gifts that He wants us to use to glorify Him and not to glorify ourselves. And as a church, I think that as a whole, I think that if we understand that, then we shouldn't ever try to compare ourselves to another church. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves to Vaughn Forest or the Highlands. We have special and unique talents that God has given our church, and we've got to use those talents to glorify Him. It's not about Eastmont. It's not about it's not about any individual, and it's not about our church. It's about glorifying God. And if we understand that, then we can understand that there is no hierarchy. That we've all been called to serve, and that we each, as individual people, we've been called to serve Him, and as individual churches, we've been called to serve Him and reflect Him. And that may take shape in various different ways, but that's our ultimate goal, is to reflect Him to non-believers. As church members, I think we're going to disagree about anything and everything. If you ask a question to the church, you'll get 100 different answers. I think the important thing to keep in mind is that we as believers need to keep a correct perspective of how we relate to God, and that it's our role to serve Him, and that if we can understand that that it's all about Him and it's not about us at all, that we're just trying to reflect Him, then we should be able to overcome any challenge or any gripes that we may have. The color of the carpet, the Wednesday night meals, the worship style, no matter how small or how big the challenge is, if we understand what our role is in this process, then we should be able to understand that we're here only to serve God and to reflect Him, and that these challenges and while we will disagree about things, if we can keep that perspective and maintain that, we should be able to get through any challenge or difficulty. It says that we're no different than the rest of the world, and why should the rest of the world listen to us if we're not any different, if we have nothing to offer? And the scariest part of that is that when we look like the rest of the world, we lose an opportunity to share Christ with them.